Now, before we get into today's video, big shout out to our sponsor, HelloFresh. Fellas, no matter how busy you get, whether it's gaming, working, going to school, everyone still has to eat. That's why HelloFresh is here to make eating easier. No grocery stores, no stressful meal planning, just everything you need to prepare a delicious meal that are all delivered to your door. I love the variety that HelloFresh offers, with over 50 weekly options, including a rotating selection of items only at the HelloFresh market. There's plenty to choose from no matter what you're craving, and it's super easy. They literally give you step-by-step recipes with pre-portioned ingredients that saves so much time so that we can get back to grinding for Destiny loot. And if you're concerned about the taste of these items, don't be. Every one of these meals are rigorously tested from professional chefs. Guys, I gotta tell you personally, I am a terrible cook, but because of HelloFresh, my kid actually will eat something that I make now, which is amazing. Down below, guys, is myhellofresh.com link. You can use code POG Aztecross 16 for up to 16 free meals, plus 3 surprise gifts across 6 HelloFresh boxes, plus free shipping. These gifts include things like free appetizers, free desserts, and free premium recipes. Fellas, again, healthy eating is important, and what you put in your body greatly impacts our productivity. Try out HelloFresh today. Now back to the video. So mentioned in the TWAB yesterday, we know that next week's TWAB is going to be introducing us to the upcoming Iron Banner changes. Now I wanted to talk about Iron Banner and the rework because even though we meme on Iron Banner, this has been a game mode with us since the very beginning of Destiny 1 and extremely iconic. And even if you look back to like Rise of Iron and stuff, we got to dive into the lore and such. Now I mentioned August the 4th of last year, Joe Blackburn actually tweeted this incredibly long thread that focused solely on PvP and what it was going to look like over the coming year. This was actually the pre-Witch Queen showcase in which Bungie essentially talked about them having teams at Bungie that are now focused on things like new maps and new game modes, and that Bungie's engine updates with Beyond Light forced them to port over every map and mode for their PvE content. And quote, when we upgraded our engine with Beyond Light, it means we had to hand port all of our Destiny 2 maps and modes. So while it may seem from the outside like we're just pushing a button, there's a significant lift from the team to get more of this content back in rotation. Now season 16, which is the season that we're in, has brought us back 2 of our old maps, Vostok and Eternity. Season 17 is supposed to bring an entirely new map to the game, and quote, after reprised maps in season 16, season 17 will be coming with a brand new map. There are a bunch of new environments in Destiny 2, and we're excited to start bringing them into the Crucible. So this new map could actually include things like, I don't know, the inside of a pyramid ship, the throne world maybe, could just be Europa, but let's just be real, that's like Eternity, right? I know it's not the same, but snow is snow. Now season 18 is supposed to be bringing us back a Destiny 1 map. Fingers crossed that it's either Firebase Delphi or Asylum. Now personally, I liked Asylum more, but either way, both of those maps would be fantastic to have back inside of Destiny. Now Bungie also went on to say that they're working on multiple new game modes for Destiny 2, and quote, first, the team is investigating getting Rift in Destiny 2 next year, and it's been too long since we've dunked on some Guardians. The Destiny sandbox has sped up in Destiny 2, so right now the team is validating that the mode still holds up with our new gameplay. And second, the team is working on multiple brand new modes for 2022. We aren't quite ready to spoil these yet, but we're excited to offer new twists and rules to ways you can make Shaxx proud. Now Joe went on to mention that the team looks to implement major reworks to PvP each year, stating that finally, after the dust settles on Trials update in season 15, we want to look at what other broad systematic improvements the PvP ecosystem needs. We want to provide something on the scale of this Trials rework to players every year. Now, what exactly that big change is for this year, we'll mention in a TWAB or a couple TWABs ago, season 19 Glory rank is looking to be removed along with the Unbroken Seal. Quote, as part of our updates for Glory, the Unbroken Seal and title will be retired. And due to the multi-season requirements of Glory reaching Legend 3 seasons in a row, season 16 will be the last season for players to start their journey to Unbroken. As such, we want to keep players informed on our plans. Now, this could mean we're actually getting an overhaul to the competitive playlist in Crucible, or this big annual PvP change is actually the Iron Banner rework. January the 20th, we actually received our first communication that Bungie was looking to rework Iron Banner while clarifying when to discard bounties. Now, March the 18th, DMG actually tweeted to turn in all of your Iron Banner tokens before next season. Quote, highly recommend you turn in Iron Banner tokens as you get them. If you want to wait until the last minute of the final Iron Banner week, feel free. If you don't spend them or redeem bounties by the end of the season, they will be lost. More info in the future TWAB, but want to give appropriate time to all. Now, in week 4 of Season of the Risen, we actually saw Lord Saladin in some dialogue where Kaido has some supposed changes in mind for Iron Banner, which is pretty interesting considering Lord Saladin is no longer with us. He can come back for Iron Banner things, right? But for the most part, he's with Kaido and the Cabal now, and that's what ultimately saved Crow's life. Now, we haven't seen any word from Bungie on the actual changes to the game mode, but if this rework rework is similar to the scale of the Trials rework that we saw last year. There could be some major changes down the pipe that do involve the new game modes Bungie is working on. Also, keep in mind, Ironbanner Labs are not out of the question either. It's possible we see different game modes or rule changes featured some weeks in the Ironbanner. Some speculation though for Ironbanner as far as what we think is going to occur. Some of these are pretty grounded, by the way, while others is just wishful thinking. First up, vendor changes should be in line with what we've seen from other vendors in the tower. So things like Trials, the Gunsmith, Crucible, Vanguard, we've already seen it across the board for pretty much everything, Gambit included. So we're probably going to see this exact same thing here for Ironbanner. It's also very likely we're going to get reputation gains along with more rewards. And in the case of Ironbanner, we may even get weapon focusing similar to Trials. And I actually think, considering the loot pool in Trials, that's very likely. Although I will say one of the key things that Ironbanner is missing that Trials has is Adept Ironbanner weapons. Now, we have no hints that Bungie would add this, and given that Ironbanner toes the line on in-game PvP, it may not happen, but could be interesting. And considering that Ironbanner requires a high light level, at least giving you an advantage if you do, guys, it technically is in-game PvP content. So adding Adept Ironbanner weapons is not completely out of the question. Imagine an Adept multi-mac. Oh, now, new game modes or rules. This is where Bungie could lean into that in-game portion more, right? We could see changes similar to Trials and Gambit Labs, and this may involve new modes Bungie is crafting. And of course, a lot of this will probably go down the pipe of like an Ironbanner Labs, right? But like we just mentioned a second ago about Rift, we may even get Rift included into one of those weeks of Ironbanner, just to mix things up a little bit. Now, Lady Aphrodite. We bring up Lady Aphrodite, and this is, I know, kind of a stretch, but for those who don't remember, she made an appearance in Rise of Iron as a vendor. And it's possible in the future, we could even have a season featured around her, Rasputin, and Siva. Now, I know that's kind of a stretch there for Siva, but we've already seen some artwork rotating out there of like an EXO version of Rasputin. And Aphrodite, of course, is tied into that. And with Saladin now with the Cabal, it does make you wonder, is Saladin making his exit for Lady Aphrodite to make her entrance? We do know that Bungie is doing a much better job though here recently of not just throwing changes on us, but throwing changes with some sort of narrative attached to it. So hopefully this is going to work well with this rework. So guys, that is all the information we have currently on the Ironbanner rework. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Again, next week's TWAB is going to give us much more information, hopefully much more information on this upcoming rework. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.